A little slam Tana showing off the uniform and the bats that he's using this weekend. Now there's Nick Williams. He's got Nicky Dubs on the back of his jersey. Nick Williams asking everybody what your nickname would be. Those are a little different. Those are the socks that are being worn today and this weekend under the uniform pants by Jose Flores. Let's take a look at the Phillies lineup. It's brought to you by Xfinity, the fastest internet in Philadelphia. Cesar leads it off once again, and then Rhys Hoskins and Nick Williams. We scan all the way down toward the bottom. Jorge Alfaro bats 8th. He's on a 5-game hitting streak. Wilson Ramos is scheduled to start tomorrow for the Phillies. They're still trying to manage that hamstring. They will face right-hander Aaron Sanchez, who's just off the disabled list. The 26-year-old in 15 starts. It's been very disappointing since his 2016 year when he was the American League ERA champion. Just hasn't pitched that much for the Blue Jays.
No, he hasn't, and staying healthy has been a concern for he and the Blue Jays. He'll sit about 94 with that fastball, just the 3 pitches. As you mentioned, back in 2016, AL ERA leader at 3, which is not easy to do, especially in this AL East.
So he's ready to go just off the disabled list. His last outing was this past Monday in the minor leagues when he went 4 1/3 and allowed 3 earned runs. Cesar Hernandez will lead things off. Cesar was 3 for 5 last night. His last at bat, though, was probably the worst one he had all night. And he takes a first pitch fastball low, and we're underway, and the count is 1-0. Cesar is 5 for 17 on this road trip. One ball and 1 strike. Last night was his 32nd multi-hit game. Now that's something to watch with Sanchez, because a lot of times his fastball is going to run away from left-handers out of the strike zone. At least that's what has happened most of the time this year. That one runs down, 3-1. He's not on any real pitch count. 66% of the time he's throwing a form of a fastball. And there's ball 4, so he walks Hernandez.
A good start
to lead off the game.
Early and often today. Early and often with this offense.
Yeah, because they had a chance last night to go early and often. They scored 1 run, but certainly could have scored more. And Rhys Hoskins, who made the last out last night on a pitch that he thought was off the plate, but really even today he talked not about that pitch, but about the 2 pitches he missed prior to that. He said that's the at bat right there. Rhys takes a fastball and it's 0-1. Blue Jays play Hoskins to pull the baseball. The second baseman, Travis, is shaded toward the middle. So the right side is wide open. No balls and 2 strikes to Rhys. Runner goes, pitches outside, throw to second base is in time. Throw by Danny Jansen was right in the baseline. No argument from Cesar. Phillies will take a look at it. I think Cesar's giving you an indication, though, that he's out.
That's a very good pitch to throw on. Jansen gets to his feet quickly. I'm not making excuses. We've seen some of these Phillies runners, base runners, get thrown out at second base. I'm not making excuses, but there have been some excellent throws to nail these base runners. I mean, excellent throws.
That was a good throw. I didn't think he got a great jump, though. That one's pulled toward the hole. Diving stop Diaz. His throw to first on 1 hop in time. The Phillies will take a peek at that one too. If it stands, it was an excellent play by the third baseman and the first baseman.
Diaz had a couple really nice plays last night. Boy, that's a pick-me-up. You walk the leadoff guy, he gets thrown out stealing any of this play by Diaz at third base. Good play all the way around. Sanchez loves it.
So 2 outs, and here's Nick Williams, who hit into a fielder's choice last night. And he fouls the first pitch away. It's 0-1. See Williams' numbers here in the month of August. It's turned out to be a solid year for him. He's got over 350 at-bats. 0-2. Is that Sanchez making that noise as he throws?
Yes.
It's like he's letting off some steam or something. It's not a grunt. It's like a. It's like the Major League Notebook turning of the page. We can use that as the sound effect. Two and two. You saw that note. It's the first outing for him since June. The index finger that he hurt, which he hurt closing it on a suitcase that then fell, is still swollen. It still has some swelling in it. 2-2 pitch. Fouled off. Everybody thought he made up the injury, that there had to be something else to it. And he said, no, that's really what happened. He was about to pitch in Anaheim in front of about 150 friends and family, and he got it caught. Don't try it at home, though. Fingerage issues have been a problem for him. Last year it was a blister on his middle finger that cost him most of the season. Swing and a miss. 3 batters up in the first inning. No runs, no hits, and nobody left. We'll head to the bottom of the first. Nick Pivetta will take the mound. Helmet night, or helmet day. That's why there's some Phillies fans wearing the Blue Jay helmets. Let's take a look at the Jays lineup. It's brought to you by Xfinity, the fastest internet in Philadelphia. So McKinney leads it off in right field. Those are his numbers in his short big league career. Then Devin Travis and Justin Smoke. And Kendrys Morales bats fourth. Kevin Pillar hits fifth. Those are his numbers his last 5 games. And they will face Nick Pivetta. Pivetta, who hails from Victoria, British Columbia. It is 26th start of the year, 27th game overall. Has 158 strikeouts in 129 and a third.
He's also been susceptible to the long ball. You see 18 on the year. Since the All-Star break, his numbers have not been good. I talked about in the open. He just needs to get that finish back on his pitches and miss some bats.
Well, you would imagine that he is going to be a little amped for this game today. Grew up a Blue Jays fan, was part of the Canadian World Baseball Classic roster at a very young age. Yeah, there's a strike to McKinney. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. McKinney 1 for 1 last night with a 2-run home run and a couple of walks. Outside corner 1 and 2. Good placement. See Pavetta's pitch distribution for the year. Swing and a miss. A 97-mile-an-hour fastball and 1 out here in the first. And Devin Travis is coming up. Our Geico quote of the day provided by Nick Pivetta on his idol Roy Halladay. Roy Halladay was my idol. I grew up watching him. When I got home from school at 4 o'clock, they'd be starting their games, and I'd watch all of them. Why is it 4 o'clock? Well, because Victoria is on the west coast of Canada. It's 2,732 miles away. That one's right back to the box. And Pivetta trots halfway to first. There are 2 outs. That's the draw that the Blue Jays have, obviously, in Canada, because he could easily be a Mariners fan, or he is in British Columbia. So it's a 3-hour time difference. He said he used to come home, watch as much of the Blue Jays as possible. If you want to drive it, Ben, it'll only take you 42 hours.
Cool. It's a lot of diesel.
Would be a lot of diesel.
Would be.
Justin Smoke takes outside. Pivetta said that it started with Rich Harden. That was the first guy that he kind of latched onto when he was a youngster. And then it, like a lot of guys, it migrated to Roy Halladay. He did get a chance to meet Doc at a fundraiser at one point. And Doc is so beloved up here. He is in the level of excellence. A foul ball. There's the Doc banner. His number 32 retired.
Well, if you're a starting pitcher, there's no one else better to look up to than Roy Halladay.
Not even close. If you want to think about work ethic and everything. 1-2 pitch to Smoke. In the air to left field. Roman Quinn is back toward the track. He's about a half a step from it. And that'll wrap up the first inning. Nothing across for the Blue Jays here at the bottom of the first. We'll go to the second. Phillies nothing and the Blue Jays nothing. the dugout and immediately went to a conversation with Rick Kranitz. Boy, Kranny is so good with these guys. I mean, he really is. Here's Carlos Santana to lead off the second. He takes a fastball from Sanchez. Carlos 0 for 3 with a walk last night. He's tied for first in the National League with walks. And he pulls that one right into the shift. So 1 out. After tomorrow's day game, the Phillies head home. They'll take on the Washington Nationals to start a 3-game series on Monday night at 7:05. Tickets are available by going to Phillies.com. And as we've told you all week, that Tuesday matchup should feature Max Scherzer against Aaron Nola in a rematch of the game the other day. Here's Asdrubal Cabrera, who's trying to find his way as he swings through that first fastball. Overall hitting .260, but only a .189 with the Phils, with 2 home runs and 9 runs batted in. That one's hit well out to center field. On the run is Pilar. It's over his head and a 1-hop over the wall or off the wall. And Cabrera will pull into second base with his 30th double of the year.
One thing Asdrubal was doing in batting practice today, he was making a concerted effort not only hit the ball up the middle and to the left side, but to really drive the baseball. And if you hit it over Pilar's head, you're doing something well. It's just a really good swing there. Compact, yet powerful. And he really drove that ball out to center field.
Well, it's 3 straight years now that he's reached 30 doubles.
And 2-seamer there. Didn't have a whole lot of life to it. Really flattened out.
And now Franco. Franco swings at the first pitch. Mike Kell hit into some bad luck in yesterday's ball game. He was 0 for 4. He had 1 strikeout, but he hit the ball hard. And his other at bats. Oh, 2. Last night, the Phillies were 1 for 8 with runners in scoring position. And they didn't have a whole lot of opportunities in the middle of the game. They had a lot at the beginning. And they certainly had opportunities at the end of the game, in the last couple of innings. But that's been one of the issues for the club. Just getting that timely hit. Nice play by Jansen.
All landed in the left-hander's batter's box. At the top of his shoes, hashtag be like Mike. That's awesome. Those are cool looking.
Very sharp. A lot of players are wearing different spikes this weekend. Popped him up behind second base. And 2 outs for Odubel Herrera. One of the telling stats for the Phillies so far this year, in the last couple of months, is the difference in their runs per game in the month of August and the opposition's runs per game in the month of August. Now, you have to take into account that there was a 24-run ball game that the Phillies allowed to the Mets. But still, the opposition is averaging almost 5 runs per game in August. In July, they were averaging 3.7 runs per game. It's a difference of almost a run on most nights. On the flip side, the Phillies were scoring over 4 runs per game in July, 4.4. In August, the Phillies are scoring 3.9 runs per game. Now they're not at the bottom, but you can see they're 10th in the National League. So that's part of the storyline. And the fact that they are hovering around 500 means that they're fortunate.
Yes.
They're 10 and 11. Three balls and no strikes to Herrera. And ball 4, so Herrera draws the second walk of the day. With 2 on and 2 outs, it's Alfaro's turn. Alfaro takes on the inside corner. Alfaro 252, 8 home runs, 29 runs batted in. Swing and a miss and a breaking ball out of the strike zone, 0-2. No stroll out of the batter's box for Jorge.
No.
Swing and a miss. He would fish it after a breaking ball. And Sanchez picks up his second strikeout in the first couple innings. The Phillies get a couple on, do not score. We'll move to the bottom of the second here in Toronto. For you. Connect with John Kruk as he takes you through his time in the majors on the Krukcast and get insider info you want with Jim Salisbury on At the Yard. Check them both out today at NBCSportsPhiladelphia.com or anywhere you listen to podcasts. Home second inning. Jays up for the second time. Kendrys Morales, Kevin Pillar, Lourdes Gurriel against Nick Pivetta. Pretty good 5-game run for Morales. Who has 19 home runs, 49 runs batted in. Yesterday, he went the opposite way against Arrieta.
Backdoor breaking ball just kind of hung up there. Morales didn't miss it. Tied the game up at 1. That was your home run replay brought to you by Giant.
Fly ball to right field. Here comes Nick Williams. And he makes the catch. 1 away. I think Nick almost tripped on the surface. And now Pillar. Some of the things that are so tantalizing about Pivetta are his strikeouts. He's 4th in strikeouts per 9 innings in the National League. He averages 10.9. Ground ball back toward the middle. Hernandez just barely throws Pillar out. Our Nissan upgrade to technology of tomorrow today. There's Pivetta's line, the 4. He's 4th. Max Scherzer's 1st. And he's 8th in strikeouts overall, which, considering he only has 129 in the 3rd innings,
right,
tells you how dominant he can be with that strikeout total. There's a high fly ball down the right field line to foul territory. Santana is there, and he makes the catch. The other side is retired.
Really nice play there.
Just to get to the spot and be able to size it up. We'll go to the 3rd. Roman Quinn leads it off. Log on to Phillies.com. Go to the fans section for all the information. And please submit your answer on the subject line. Ben, the question is, which 2 Blue Jays were named World Series MVP in '92 and '93? Answer will be revealed a little later on.
Very good question.
Don't butter up John DeSangro. He doesn't need it. Roman Quinn leads it off and takes a strike, 0-1. Nice little run that Roman's on. Change up, 0-2.
The first one that he's been able to keep in the zone, that change up.
Back toward the middle for Quinn. Gurriel has it and spins and throws wide. Roman did not make a turn.
How did he even get to that ball?
It was a really good play. Thankfully, Roman is quick as lightning, and that put a little pressure on Gurriel to make a quick throw.
I mean, this speed is, the ball's hit hard. I mean, he gets to his feet quickly. He knows how Roman can run. He's going to beat it out anyway, but that speed is such a game changer. It really is.
So it is a hit for Roman Quinn, his third hit in the series. And Cesar is up. And a line drive base hit it to center field. Roman froze for a moment, but he's still going to go to third. He is so fast. I mean, when he's healthy, which he is right now, it's hard to stop him.
I mean, he's got to freeze and make sure that Travis doesn't catch this ball. Never break stride. It's one thing to be fast, but to be able to get to top speed within 2 steps, that's the amazing thing. I really would like to know what that feels like. Wouldn't you? I mean, just to do it once.
Yes, no, because you get greedy. You want to do it more than once. Here's Hoskins, who grounded out his first time up. Had a strike, 0-1. I just heard Reese say a little bit more. Is he asking if he was going to give him a little bit more on the plate?
Give him a little bit more, yes.
Phillies had a chance with runners in scoring position in the last inning. We're 0 for 2. Team lows runners in scoring position. The Phillies at 244. They haven't been much better than that for most of the year. I mean, there was a point where they were in the first month and a half that they were higher. But this has been an extensive sort of drought for them. 1 ball, 1 strike. 1-2.
And the 3-run homer obviously would be great, but just keep the line moving. Some type of hit. You know, single to right field, get first and third again with a run in. Just keep the line moving.
That was a hanger. Fly ball center field. That'll be deep enough to score Roman. Cesar's tagging as well. The throw goes to second. And it's a sacrifice fly for Hoskins, and the Phillies take a 1-0 lead. 78th RBI on the year for Reese.
Make the big fella happy.
Well, it's a pretty good carry on it.
It sure did. He basically one-armed that ball out to center field.
Here's Nick Williams, who struck out his first time up. One ball and one strike. Tomorrow the Phillies start Vince Velasquez. Sanchez and Vince are very close friends. In fact, Sanchez has said that Velasquez is his closest friend in baseball, both growing up in California. There's a bouncer to the right side. But up to second base goes Cesar. 2 outs. And Carlos Santana is due up. There's Vince. He'll start tomorrow against Marco Estrada. Vince, who went to high school in Pomona, California. Sanchez went to Barstow. There's Marco Estrada. And a changeup 0-1. Is that a changeup or a two-seamer? That's a changeup, right?
Changeup.
Scouting report has his changeup in that neighborhood. The two-seamer is not too much higher than that either. Sixteen pitches in the first 3 innings apiece. He's thrown a lot of first pitch strikes. 9 of the 13 hitters he's faced, he's thrown a first pitch strike. You know, the funny thing about Sanchez is that at 26 years old, the Blue Jays thought he would be their Aaron Nola, particularly after his 2016 season. He was 15-2, along with that 3 ERA. 192 innings. Little topper. And Sanchez has it, throws out Carlos Santana. Phillies settle for 1 run on the sac fly by Rhys Hoskins. Middle of the 3rd. Pivetta back to work, this time with a 1-0 lead. Pennsylvania Lottery's new scratch-off Neon. Players must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly. And by Nissan. Shop ChooseNissan.com. Hello, with Ben Davis and Greg Murphy. I'm Tom McCarthy here in Toronto. The roof is closed because there are some storms moving through the area. It was a game-time decision, and the storms were still over top once the first pitch was thrown. It does play differently. When it's open, it flies a little bit more. As Danny Jansen leads it off and takes a breaking ball, and it's 0-1. Jansen is the heir apparent behind the plate. And fortunately for him, Russell Martin recognizes that. There was an article today in the Globe and Mail, which is the local paper up here, where Russell Martin says, I want to stay in Toronto to fulfill my contract. He said, but I also understand that Danny Jansen's got to play. He said, so his job, as that one is floated out towards Cesar, his job is to mentor him as best he can, pass along some of the knowledge that he's learned over the years, but also start to take some ground balls elsewhere, which is what we talked about yesterday.
Maybe one day he'll get a nickname.
Guess he arrived a little too late. Here's Hernandez with 18 home runs. And Pivetta spikes a fastball, 0-1.
Yeah, Russell Martin signed through next year. Blue Jays owe him another $20 million.
Wow, that's a lot of money. Wow. At a breaking ball to Teoscar Hernandez, and it's 2-1. They have $32 million locked into Russell Martin and Kendrys Morales next year. Three and one. $20 million for Russell Martin, huh?
Yeah, it was a 5-year, $82 million deal. Take it if you can get it.
Sure can. And ball four. That's the first base runner of the day. Allowed by Pivetta. Hey, come see the Cubs next weekend when the Phils and Chicago get together for a 3-game series. Friday, August 31st is game 1. Then Saturday the 1st at 7:05. It's Nemours Childhood Cancer Awareness Night. Sunday the 2nd, your backpack cooler, courtesy of Fontes Plumbing, Heating, and Air. That's for kids 14 and under. Get your tickets anytime by going to Phillies.com. A base hit to the right side for Diaz. First hit of the afternoon for the Blue Jays. So runners on first and second. Let's check in with Greg Murphy. Murph.
All right, thank you very much, Tom. Well, Billy McKinney, who's coming up right now, has been a nice addition for the Blue Jays. He's come over at the trade deadline. He was part of that Jay Happ trade that the Blue Jays had made with the Yankees. And since being here, he was called up about a week ago. 6 games coming into today, 6 hits, 2 home runs. So he has been a nice addition. But before that, his only major league experience was, well, right here at the Rogers Center, because game number 2 of this year, he was called up by the New York Yankees to fill in for Aaron Hicks, who got hurt in the opening day matchup for the Blue Jays and the Yankees. So he got made his major league debut here. First at bat, got a hit. It was 1 for 4 that day. Then The next day, he ended up crashing into the wall trying to chase down a Josh Donaldson fly ball and ended up getting hurt. And that was his only major league experience until being called back up just a few days ago. So he's back, and he's a big part of what the Blue Jays are hoping to do with a young roster going forward. And he's certainly going to have a chance to be an impact player in the outfield for the Blue Jays going forward.
Yeah, the Blue Jays, like a lot of teams, are leaning on the sabermetric numbers, and they feel like McKinney fits those as far as they're concerned. He's been traded a couple of times already, as Rick Kraditz is going to go out and talk to Nick Pivetta. He's been traded a couple of times already. You know, he started with the A's and went to the Cubs for Jason Hamill and Jeff Samardzija, and then eventually to the Yankees in the Aroldis Chapman deal. Chapman then came back and signed with the Yankees, and then obviously to the Blue Jays from the Yankees for Jay Happ. In that A's deal, he went from Oakland to Chicago with Addison Russell for those two guys. He's already got a lot of jerseys.
Yeah, he does.
All right, so Kraditz must have seen something mechanically for Nick to kind of miss toward the outer half. Do you see anything at all, Brad?
No, I really don't. I mean, when you miss generally arm side, you generally kind of get out in front of yourself and start pushing the ball. So Crane might say, hey, just make sure you stay closed. Let your arm catch up here.
That's a good breaking ball there. The back door, it's 2-1. Teoscar Hernandez is at second base. Aledmys Diaz at first.
Talk about the job that Cranny does. I mean, he is spectacular. Think about how many different hats he wears. I mean, he's involved so much with these guys.
2-2.
Being a pitching coach is, especially nowadays, so much more involved. Obviously, technique is a lot. But a counselor, motivator, babysitter at times.
He's got a great attitude.
He sure does.
You know, he's one of those guys that really can talk to anybody.
And make you feel comfortable. He just explains it in such a way where you understand it, you get it.
And if you had a cigar, he'd like even more.
That's right.
Look at Georgie behind the plate. I think he's a little frustrated about McKinney. Is there a sign?
I didn't see one.
Alfaro was definitely frustrated about something, wasn't he?
Yeah, the body language leads me to believe that.
In the dirt, and it's 3-2. Breaking ball, and he swings through it. That is the second strikeout for Pivetta. I think McKinney helped him out there.
Oh, he threw it 2-0 for a strike. Kind of figured he'd go back to it. Yeah, that's a ball.
Had great rotation, though. So 2 outs, and here's Devin Travis, who grounded out his first time up.
Unless they think Hernandez is giving signs.
There's a slider, and it's 0-1. I know that they've been sensitive to that the last couple series, and they've asked Jorge to go through the signs a little differently. Fly ball right side. Into foul territory is Santana with plenty of room, and the inning is over. Nice job by Nick Pivetta to work out of what started to be a little bit of a jam here in the third. We have played our first 3. We'll move to the fourth. It's the Phillies 1, the Jays nothing. Hazards don't strike out. WB Mason brings you the Fire King Patriot insulated 4-drawer fire file to protect your most important files. Head to WBMason.com today to make the safest call for your office. Who but WB Mason?
Bring it home.
All right, so this is a sign meeting here. Is that what it is? Trying to get on the same page?
I think so.
Looks like everybody's in agreement. Cabrera leads it off as we begin the top of the fourth and takes a breaking ball. Fouled away, 1-2. Phillies find themselves 3 games back in the National League East. And although it might be a little early to look at it, you've got to consider the wild card, which the Phillies were leading earlier this week, but now are 2 games behind the Brewers for the 2nd spot. Brewers and the Cardinals each with 72 wins. Cardinals are 18-4 in the month of August. They've won 4 straight. They have 9 straight road wins as Cabrera pokes it the other way for his 2nd hit of the afternoon.
Boy, is that beautiful hitting. Like I said, he really worked on that in batting practice. I think he was kind of getting out around the baseball a little bit, maybe a little too pull happy. What an easy swing. Produce a bullet to left field.
No balls and 1 strike to Franco, who popped out behind second base his first time up. There's a looper out to right. That's going to drop for a hit. Cabrera will hold up at second. Well, the Phils had the first 2 runners aboard here in the 4th. MLB At Bat is your #1 Philadelphia Phillies app. Customize your experience to catch every moment this season. Get Phillies home screen icons and features such as the MLB.TV Game of the Day, pitch tracking, in-game highlights, live radio broadcasts, stats, news, and more. Download MLB At Bat today. Odubel, his first time up, walked.
On 4 pitches.
And he fouls it away.
Phillies again knocking on the door to a big inning. Have to find a way to break out here.
A little low, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Inside, 2-1. He's at 60 as far as pitches go. And a line drive base hit it to right field. Cabrera to third. He'll hold there as the throw sails off the glove of Smoke. And the bases are now loaded. 3 straight hits. And Alfaro's coming up.
Well, put yourself in a good hitter's count. When there's traffic out on the bases, you have to get something to hit. It's exactly what happened there, and Odubel put a really good swing on it.
Pete Walker will head out, the pitching coach for the Jays. All right, so the Phillies are no longer hitless with a runner in scoring position, but they haven't gotten that run across the plate with a base hit. They got the sac fly earlier. Need more Phillies in your life? Check out NBCSportsPhiladelphia.com. You can always catch the latest player updates, insider analysis, and all your favorite podcasts like the Crudcast and At the Yard. NBCSportsPhiladelphia.com. It's all about your teams all the time. Justin Schaefer is warming up in the bullpen. Alfaro struck out. A lot of breaking balls his last time. At a fastball 0-1. Line drive caught by Smoke at first, and everybody gets back. Well, you're talking about right place, right time.
Well, we saw Smoke, the very first batter of the game, and Cesar Hernandez yesterday missed one off his first baseman's mitt. This one, he's in perfect position, ranging to his left. That's an excellent play. You're just not expecting that as a first baseman off the bat of a right-hander.
First pitch outside. Roman Quinn singled his first time up. And he takes low, 2-0. No pitcher batting here, so the Phils get the extra hitter. Fouled away. Roman Quinn is up with the bases loaded. The count 2-1. The Phillies on top 1-0. Outside 3-1.
Another good count here for Roman. Got a fastball 2-0. He's got to get one here.
And a strike on the inner half. It's 3-2. Cabrera's over at third base. Franco's at second. And Odubel's at first.
Not where Jansen wanted it, but I think Roman's looking for something out over the plate.
Bouncing ball under the glove of Smoke and down the right field line. One run is in. Here comes Franco. He'll score. Odubel goes to third. And the Phillies take a 3-0 lead.
It wasn't pretty, but I will take it. And so will the fighting Phils.
That'll go down as a double for Roman Quinn. He has 6 RBIs.
Ball just hit enough to Smoke's left that he's just not able to get over and make the play after that beautiful play he made on Alfaro.
So now second and third, and here is Cesar. And it's outside, 1-0. Can't say enough about what Roman Quinn has done. I mean, he is one of the guys that's actually putting together some positive numbers. He has 8 hits now on this road trip. It's 1 ball and no strikes. Bouncer back toward the box. Sanchez looks the runner back to third. 1-3 on the putout. And now it's Rhys Hoskins coming up. Hoskins is 0 for 1. He had a sac fly his last time. Boy, get these 2 runs in. This would be huge.
You ain't kidding.
Outside corner.
I don't know if the Phillies are not picking up fastball. There have been so many fastballs taken for strikes today. I mean, a boatload.
That one runs high. You think it's cutting back?
I just think the numbers don't lie. I mean, he throws that fastball almost 66% of the time. Some type of either 2-seam or 4-seam. You're going to get a fastball.
Almost the same pitch, 2-2. That's what he's thrown today. More 2-seamers than 4-seamers. And a looper down the left field line. That's going to drop for a base hit. 2 runs will score. It's a 2-run single for Rhys Hoskins, and the Phillies now lead it 5-0.
Huge. 2-out tally right there by Rhys Hoskins. Huge.
3 RBIs for Rhys.
He went down and got that slider, much like the pitch he had on his last at bat for the sacrifice fly. Curveball, I should say.
That's big. Get those other 2 runs home. Got a fastball runs high. That one's hit well out to center field, but Pilar is there. Yeah, that'll wrap up the inning. The Phillies, though, score 4 runs in the inning. They do so with 5 base hits. On to the bottom of the 4th, 5-0 Phils. Lay dealers. And by WB Mason. Who bought WB Mason for fast, free delivery? Nobody does it better. Bottom of the fourth inning, it's the Phillies 5 and the Blue Jays nothing. Take a look at StatCast AI powered by AWS. This is Roman Quinn's double. Certainly wasn't a high probability or exit velocity. The hit probability was only 5%. It doesn't always take, well, it doesn't at all take into account where the fielder is when you go to hit probability, or where the fielder starts. Justin Smoke leads it off against Pivetta, who fires a strike, 0-1. Oh, 2. To the overshift, which includes, as Drupal Cabrera over on the right side, Franco playing short. And a slider gets away, or I should say curveball. Tried it again, 3-2, back-to-back curves.
I don't get that at all. I really don't.
Yeah, he wasn't really close to the fastball.
Your team just goes out and gets you 4 more runs. You're going to walk the leadoff guy with a 3-2 curveball when you throw 95, 97.
Right. It's 3 straight breaking pitches that he threw. That'll bring Morales up. Morales is flied out to right field.
If he hits one into the hotel in center field, I don't care. It's 5-1.
Fastball low and in, 1-0. See what Morales' power numbers are the last 5 games. He's hit in 8 consecutive games. He is one of 3 Blue Jays to have a home run in 5 straight. He has 6 during that time. 2-2. The other 2, Jose Cruz Jr. and Jose Bautista. Jose Cruz Jr. did it in 6 consecutive games. That ball's hit well. Deep to right center field, and it is gone. He's homered in 6 consecutive games, and it's now a 5-2 ball game. He's just red hot. And that ball was down in almost the nitro zone. So Morales ties that club record.
You just watch. You figure he's going to get another breaking ball. pretty swing.
And now Pilar fouls it away. It's 0-1. 20 home runs, 51 runs batted in. And there's that leaderboard that we just talked about. 0-2. Pavetta's got some good numbers in interleague play coming into today. 2-2 in 7 starts with an earned run average of 2.76. Averaging more than a strikeout per inning pitch during that time too. Another look at that swing, the knuckle curve.
Lift off.
Little dribbler, foul. To the left side, Cabrera's got it, throws off balance, not in time. And Pilar is aboard with an infield hit.
I wonder if that dribbler would have been better suited throwing that ball off the turf. He would have been able to get a little bit more on it, throwing it all the way in the air, throw a little lower elevation and bounce it, one hop it off the turf, be able to get more on it that way. Just takes too long to get to the bag.
Well, it's an infield hit, and that's now 3 hits for the Blue Jays, 2 in this inning. And here's Gurriel, who is 0 for 1. Popped out his first time up. Credits back out to the mound again. This is going to be sort of an inning by inning. Manage him through this the way it's going. Well, this gives us a chance to remind everybody what August is. It's our Runs for Radiothon. For every run the Phillies scored during August, the Phillies will make a contribution to the Help Our Kids Radiothon, benefiting Nemours Alfred I. DuPont Hospital for Children. To find out more, visit nemours.org/radiothon.
Couple good pitches there at the bottom of the zone, not going Nick's way.
That was it sharply caught by Franco. The throw back to first, not in time. And 1 out here in the 4th inning. And it brings Danny Jansen to the plate. Jansen lined out his first time up. See if he can get a ground ball here to get out of this inning. Over to third base. That's a fair ball past Franco down the left field line. Roman Quinn will play it off the wall. His throw goes toward third. Well, the Blue Jays now runners on second and third with one out.
Much like Roman Quinn's double last inning, the last half inning.
Yep.
Not hit terribly hard, but effective nonetheless. Just sneaks it right inside that third base bag.
Well, you got a home run hitter up now. You got to deal with in Hernandez. It's interesting. The last couple innings, they are not on the same page. Pivetta and Alfaro. There's a line drive to center field, a base hit. One run is in. The whole Jansen to throw is cut off by Santana. It's now a 5-3 game. I think you have to get somebody up in the bullpen.
Have to.
As much as he missed bats in the first couple innings, he's not doing so here. And Adam Morgan looks like he's going to start throwing.
Trying to get a fastball inside. That's a really good piece of hitting.
And a fastball to Diaz. Over to third base. That could be two. There's one and two. And an around the horn 5-4-3 double play gets Pivetta out of the fourth inning. The Blue Jays do score 3 in the inning, and they leave 1. We'll go to the 5th. It's 5-3. Phil's on top. Phillies Fantasy Camp is open for business January 23rd to the 27th of next year. It's 3 different experiences: the fan, the player, and general manager, located at the Carpenter Complex in Clearwater, Florida. You can join Phillies legends like Greg Luzinski. Stairsy will be there. Charlie Manuel will be there as well. So will Mickey Morandini. He's the commissioner. Call 610-520-3400 or visit PhilliesFantasyCamp.com for information. We start the 5th inning. Sanchez is still out there, and Carlos Santana starts with a pitch low, and it's 1 ball, no strikes. Changeup. He was thinking fastball right out of the gate. Credits and Nick Pivetta chatting in the dugout. It's like he's leaking air every time he throws.
That's a good way to put it.
Or it sounds like he's hitting not a heavy bag, but something. Bullpen action. Petrichka is warming up in the pen for the Blue Jays. He warmed up last night, didn't come in. And it's 3-2 to Santana. That one's hit well to right field. McKinney's going back. He got turned around. It's a 1-hop over the wall, a ground rule double. Boy, he was nowhere near that ball.
No.
22 doubles now for Santana. And he's in scoring position for Asdrubal Cabrera as Pete Walker will come back out.
Yeah, that was a really bad route there by McKinney. McKinney, as he thinks it's going to keep hooking, that ball actually goes back towards the right center field gap. Another ground rule double here.
Well, Cabrera is 2 for 2. He's doubled, he's singled, he also scored a run. Phillies now with 9 hits in the ball game. And 3 of those 9 are extra base hits. And a line drive, base hit it to right center field. Santana will hold it third. And Asdrubal's now 3 for 3. That's a good sign, isn't it, Ben?
Great sign.
And John Gibbons is heading out. And that will be it for Sanchez. 86 pitches. And he's given up double digits in hits. So pitching change here at the top of the 5th inning. The Phillies lead it 5-3, threatening to get some more. We'll be back right after this. Superheroes when the Washington Nationals come to town Wednesday, August 29th at 7:05. There's a limited edition Phillies Hulk bobblehead that'll be given out if you purchase your tickets through the theme night page. Go to Phillies.com/theme nights to order your tickets.
How come you're Spider-Man over every other hero?
I don't know, actually. Agility. Plus he gets to fly through the air with his webs. I think that's it.
All right.
Who do you have, Superman?
Superman.
Of course you do. On Wednesday, are you working Wednesday?
I'm in the studio.
You're in the studio. On Wednesday, Greg Castriato is giving us all superhero T-shirts to wear on the air.
Really?
Yeah. Michael Franco is standing in, and Jake Petrichka is taking over for Aaron Sanchez. With the Phillies leading it by 2. Two balls, no strikes. For the years, two-seam fastball is his go-to pitch. The bouncer slowly hit toward third. Diaz is coming home. His throw is high, and Santana never got to the plate. 5-2 on the putout.
It's almost like he wasn't expecting a play at home plate. Odubel's got to get out there and tell him, you know, get down, get down. Odubel's still in the on-deck circle. It was like he didn't know. He didn't even get to home plate.
Yeah.
I don't know why he slid so short of home plate.
Yeah, because if he had slid right into the plate, he would have been safe.
Exactly right.
Well, your thought too is that Odubel should be running out, telling him where he should go.
Right.
Well, Herrera is 1 for 1 today with a run scored. And he takes a fastball 0-1. Now, either way, Santana knew he had a slide, particularly when he saw some action. So whether Odubel was out there or not.
Yeah, you could motion what side of the plate to slide to.
Ground ball right side. Travis to second for 1. Over to first. And not in time. First and third with 2 outs. And Alfaro's coming up.
Travis ranging to his left on the Gurriel. He puts a lot on it. Odubel through the bag, though.
Wow, the Blue Jays are really fortunate there as that ball smoked the foot of Jansen.
Kick save and a beauty.
And a line drive, one hopper off the glove of Gurriel and into left center field. A run scores, and it's now a 6-3 ball game. That ball was hit hard by Jorge Alfaro.
It's got to be the 11th hit of the day. The fighting Phils.
Well, we'll see if they give it, if it's scored a hit or an error.
103 off the bat here. That just eats up Gurriel.
It is a base hit. And now Roman Quinn. He takes low and in. That one's floated out towards center, and here comes Pilar. And they finally retire Roman Quinn. The Phillies do get a run. A lot of action in this inning. They leave a couple base runners. We'll move on to the bottom of the fifth at 6-3 Phillies. The official bank of the Phils. Well, the Reading Fightins end of the year awards look like this. Cornelius Randolph is the player of the game. That means he won that more times than anybody else. Davy Grion is the MVP of the Big Stick Award. Edgar Garcia, who just went up to AAA today, was the pitcher of the year. Malquin Caneo, the stolen base leader. And Austin and Harold both won awards as well. The Unsung Hero Community Service Award. Reading Fightins do a nice job getting the players into the community. And the Phillies also have an award for that too at the end of the year. So congratulations to those guys. By the way, since the All-Star break, Cornelius Randolph hitting .291 with 4 home runs and 20 runs batted in and a .362 on base percentage. So he really picked it up. As Pivetta deals the first pitch to Billy McKinney inside. One ball, one strike. Lehigh Valley, by the way, with a win today, can clinch the division. First time that they would have done that. They've been in the postseason before. But trying to clinch the division, Jared Eichhoff is on the mound for the Iron Pigs. One ball, one strike. On a roll out to second base, Cesar takes care of McKinney. And with one out, Devin Travis is coming up. Let's check in with Greg Murphy. Murph.
All right, thank you, Tom. Well, I'm roaming around the Rogers Center, and this is really kind of a cool place. If you've never been here, it's a neat place to visit. Obviously, kind of an engineering marvel. Built in 1989, it was baseball's first retractable roof stadium, and it's got some pretty cool features. When they have other events here, like concerts or whatever, the dugouts themselves will collapse and become flat so that folks can sit right there. And interestingly enough, the mound itself, the pitching mound itself, is removed when they have events like that. They do it in a very strange way. They dig around the mound and then they fill underneath with water because the mound is actually sitting on a couple of beams. So then the water will raise up the mound and then they pick it up with a lift and they move it off site and then they cover, they empty the water out and then they cover the mound where the mound is with some planks as well, and it makes for a flat surface so they can have concerts or a football game or whatever they might have here. But it's really kind of, it's like hydraulics with actually using the water. They just fill it up with a hose and then it raises it up, and that's how they get rid of the mound. So it's really kind of a cool place if you walk around. It's obviously a huge place as well, but standing right here, a pretty good place to watch a ball game.
Yeah, I remember the first time I came here was back in 1995 to see a game and to work as a spotter/statistician for CBS Radio. And Ernie Harwell was doing the game with Jim Hunter, who now does the Oriole games. And just seeing it first time, I stayed at the hotel.
Did you?
Yeah, we had a room that faced my brother. Me and my brother were both there. Room that faced the field, so he sat and watched the game from the hotel room, and I was here working as a statistician, and it was seeing it for the first time. I mean, obviously it's clean when you walk around, but it really is amazing.
It is.
Now other teams have followed suit with a different retractable roof. Yesterday was beautiful with the roof open. The storms in the area today forced the roof to be closed, but they are hoping to have it open tomorrow. That one runs a little high, and it's 3-2 to Travis.
My first time here was in the summer of '94. Played for the junior national team. We played Team Canada. My folks were up here with me, and surface is a little different back then. It was basically just concrete with a little piece of carpet over top.
Fly ball to right field, and Nick Williams is there. Yeah, they've changed a lot of that the last couple of years. I mean, it's much softer, the surface now. But also, what used to be cutouts around the bases like the vet have now been replaced with the infield dirt. And I think it's the best way to do it.
Yes.
I will say the infield dirt, though, did you walk on it at all?
No.
It's hard.
Is it?
Yes. On the outside corner.
What, did you do a lap around or something?
I just walked out toward the first base area. I figured everybody else was on it, raking it. Inside, 1-1. Got some pigeons too, Ben. They can't leave because the roof is closed.
They're not playing smoke the pool, I see.
One and two. Smoke just said that was down. Ground ball into the shifts, and Cesar is up with it, and the inning is over. Boy, this was a nice bounce back inning for Nick Pivetta. Nothing across. Pigeons are still around. We'll go to the sixth with the Phillies up by 3. make his case for the National League Cy Young Award. Aaron has conquered lineup after lineup this season on his way to a 15-3 record. He took the mound Thursday and outpitched Max Scherzer for 8 dominant shutout innings, earning a much-needed win for the Phils. Nola lowered his ERA to 2.13, the lowest for a Philly through his first 26 starts of a season since Chris Short's 1.92 ERA in 1964. And it's brought to you by Independence Blue Cross. Live fearless. Well, it's not Aaron Nola-like, but Nick Pavetta's done a nice job today after getting bumped around a little bit in the 4th inning. He threw a perfect 5th inning. And now the Phillies will go back into the Blue Jays bullpen. Tim Meza out of Millersville and Upper Perkiomen will take over. This is his 20th ball game, a 5.85 ERA. Went to Upper Perkiomen High School, where he was a 3-sport athlete, and went on to Millersville, where in his last year he struck out at least 1 batter per inning pitched, had an ERA of 1.55, and that's when the Blue Jays drafted him. Fouled away, and it's 0-2.
Took him in the 12th round.
Cesar is down on strikes, 1 away. Rhys Hoskins comes up. He provided us, along with Roman Quinn, our Toyota turning point in the 4th inning.
Yeah, bases loaded here for Roman. He chops the ball down the right field line. Justice Smoke cannot come up with it. That scores Asdrubal and Michael. And then this big 2-out knock here by Rhys Hoskins to plate a couple more. And it's 5-0 at the time. That's your Toyota turning point.
Swing and a miss, 0-2. Meza was up last year, 19 games for the Blue Jays, ERA of 6.88. He made his major league debut. His college coach, John Sheehan, was up for it. Inside, 1-2. And a foul tip. Back-to-back strikeouts, 2 outs here in the 6th inning. And that'll bring Nick Williams up. Ball, no strikes to Nick Williams. Oh, a little cut to it there. Meza's the second Millersville product to make it to the big leagues. Jim Todd made it back in the 70s. He played for 4 or 5 years. One and 2 to Nick Williams. And he goes down looking on strikes. He just struck out the side. As he sets the Phils down in order here in the 6th inning. We will move to the bottom of the 6th. Phillies hanging on to a 3-run lead. Every new Ford car, truck, and SUV crossover at buyfordnow.com today. And by Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Last of the 6th inning at 6-3. Phillies on top. And Kendrys Morales will lead it off against Nick Pivetta. He delivers outside, 1-0. Morales homered his last time up. 2-run shot.
Changeup?
That was a changeup. He hasn't thrown many changeups today.
Wasn't in a bad spot either.
That is only the second changeup that Nick's thrown this afternoon. You see the splits today, pitch-wise. Ground ball back toward the right side. As Struble is there. 6-3 on the putout. And that'll bring Pilar up. One.
That was a good slider. Very tight, late movement. Pilar thinks it's fastball, 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 reads fastball, then it just breaks at the last minute. Good lateral movement on that.
Popped him up. Over near first base, Santana in foul territory. 2 outs. Oh, we've got some theme nights coming up, Ben, beginning Monday at 7:05. That's Margaritaville night. Murph will be the front of the line for that one. A Phillies Margaritaville night t-shirt. You go to the theme night page. Tuesday at 7:05, it's Stitch and Pitch night. John DeSangro will be at the front of the line for that one. You get a Stitch and Pitch t-shirt. And then Wednesday at 7:05, it's the Marvel Superhero Night. A limited edition Phillies Hulk bobblehead. Greg Castriano will be in the front of the line for that one. Go to Phillies.com/theme nights to purchase your tickets and get a free prize. Swing and a miss. 1 ball and 1 strike. That's good movement on that slider. Oh, he shattered his bat. A little pop-up out towards second. And the inning is over. That's 7 consecutive hitters retired by Pivetta. Man, he whittled a whole chunk out of it. We'll go to the 7th. Time now for your Delaware Valley Honda dealers game summary. Phillies scored 4 in the 4th inning. Blue Jays added 3 in the bottom of the 4th. But then the Phils tacked on an insurance run in the 5th. Nick Pavetta's been good today for the Phils. Roman Quinn and Rhys Hoskins have combined for 5 runs batted in. And now Meza will continue on in the 7th inning. Why not? He struck out the side in his last inning of work. Meza's got some other Millersville guys that are following him in professional baseball. One such guy who I watched play in high school and Legion is Reed Anderson out of Millersville, who is in Single A in the Sally League for Texas. This year 8-6 with an ERA of 3.27. He's also averaging a strikeout per inning pitched. He's making the transition to being a starting pitcher. Fly ball out to left center field. Pilar says he has it. One away. And that'll bring Cabrera to the plate, who's 3 for 3. 2 balls, no strikes. Over to third. Aledmys Diaz throws out Cabrera. 2 outs for Franco. By the way, Ben, also besides being a theme night on Monday night, I'm reminded by Murph's basketball coach Phil Martelli that Don DeJulia, the great Don DeJulia, former AD at St. Joe's, will be throwing out the first pitch on Monday.
A great man.
So you want to get there early for that and get your theme night Margaritaville t-shirt. Franco sends one to the air to left field. Hernandez is back and has room. And the inning is over. Phillies go down in order in their half of the 7th. Time to stretch. The Phillies on top, 6-3. I think you got to lean on Nick Pivetta, particularly the way he has put things together these last couple of innings.
Yeah, he has been really good. Made some adjustments with his breaking ball. Able to induce this 5-4-3 around the horn double play to get out of that inning. He's got a balls on the ground today, some strikeouts, but he has gotten better as this game has gone on.
Their communication's gotten better too.
Yes.
We start the home 7th inning. And Jansen lines one to left center field past the diving Roman Quinn. And Jansen will get to second base with his second double of the day.
Thought Roman had a chance there.
I did too.
He ran a long way to get there. He can't get it, no one can. First pitch swinging here on a hanging curveball there. Jansen doesn't miss it.
Check the swing. Did he go? No. Pretty close.
Looked like it. Did not go.
Luis Avilan is warming in the pen. Outside, 2-2. Got him. Just powered a 94-mile-an-hour fastball by him. One away. It's only the third strikeout for Pavetta.
Just high fastball, good finish through the catcher's mitt of Jorge Alfaro.
And now Diaz, who has hit it to a double play and is single today. Good spot. Missed a little low and in.
Get that pitch, it's just going to open up the outside part of the plate.
And that's why they went that way. Did he go? Yes, he did. And Diaz is struck out. Back-to-back strikeouts for Pavetta. Yeah, they're 2 outs, and now Billy McKinney's coming up.
You get so cognizant of that pitch inside. That's a close one as well. And that makes your breaking ball not have to be as great if you can really locate on the inside part of the plate, especially the righties.
Here's McKinney, who's 0 for 3. Fly ball left center field. On the run is Odubel. Back toward the wall, and it is gone. And it's now a 6-5 ball game. Wow. Same spot as yesterday.
He's got a strong, compact swing, doesn't he? Choke up on that bat. Not a terrible pitch. That's playing in the seats.
Well, McKinney's second home run of the series. Your credits back out to the mounds. Gabe on the phone. Sir Anthony is warming up. Avilan sits down. Travis late on a fastball, 0-1. I have to admit, I did think they were going to bring Avilan on to face McKinney, but I thought he had enough stuff to get it by him.
Yeah, and Pivetta has handled McKinney very well today. 2 strikeouts and a little rollover to second.
One pitch. Fly ball foul, and it's 1-2. Tried another slider, and it's 3-2. Smoke's on deck. Avilan has sat down, so if for some reason Travis gets on, it's going to be Sir Anthony, I would think, that's going to face Smoke. And there's ball 4, so he does get on. It's probably going to be it for Pivetta. And here comes Gabe Kapler. So there's the signal to the bullpen for Sir Anthony to come in. So a pitching change here at Rogers Center. The Phillies lead is down to 1. We'll be back right after this. Comcast will make a contribution to Phillies charities. Phillies baseball is brought to you by Xfinity, the fastest internet in Philadelphia. All right, so it's Sir Anthony Dominguez here in the bottom of the 7th inning with 2 outs. So it means Smoke, who's got more home runs left-handed than right-handed, will be the hitter. We mentioned Avilan was warming up. Thought maybe they'd use him for McKinney. They didn't. Then I thought they'd use him for Smoke to put him on the right side of the plate. But they've decided to go with Dominguez, who's had a few days off. Last time he pitched was Wednesday through 16 pitches. And a swing and a miss, and it's 0-1.
Changeup.
Another changeup. Travis off first. He's got good speed. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes to Justin Smoke. Swing and a miss. He threw him 3 straight changeups, and he got him. And that'll wrap up the 7th inning. But the Blue Jays do inch closer. They got a 2-run home run by McKinney, so now we'll go to the 8th. Valley Honda dealers. Hurry to your local Del Val Honda dealer. Visit DelValHondaDealers.com. And by Jefferson Health, call 800-JEFF-NOW or visit jeffersonhealth.org. Phillies lead it by 1, 6-5. Time now for a Hyundai defensive play of the game. It's a nice play by Carlos Santana.
Off the bat of Gurriel Jr. He's got a long way to go, and this is really, really a good play here. Kind of that Bermuda triangle over there between second baseman, right fielder, and the first baseman. He makes an excellent play. That is your Hyundai defensive play of the game, brought to you by your local Hyundai dealers.
Well, here's Joe Biagini, who's in his 40th game. He hasn't been great. His earned run average 6.00.
I see what you did there.
What is that, Ben?
Oh, it's jersey.
The back of his jersey says Joe the Great.
Yes.
You think anybody walks around saying, "Hey, Joe the Great"?
There's obviously a story to it.
Yeah. Odubel takes outside. It's listed on the list as one of the more comical nicknames. It's actually from one of his favorite shows.
Seinfeld?
Seinfeld. That's when Elaine is dating the maestro. All right, it's funny. when Biagini was putting together his thoughts on what nickname he wanted to put on there, it was going to be a Seinfeld flair no matter what. Odubel takes in 2-2. Two balls, two strikes. And Odubel shoots it down the left field line. And he's on his way to second base. He better hurry. And he's there with a head-first slide. That's his 17th double of the year. It's his second hit of the day.
Another really good piece of hitting here by Philly. Use that whole field.
So Alfaro, who is 1 for 3 with an RBI single. Fastball on the outer edge.
Imperative that he somehow advance Odubel third base here. And they'd have to draw the infield in, roaming up. That opens up a bunch of different opportunities.
Bouncing ball foul. Looks like Sir Anthony is going to pitch the 8th inning.
Not to get ahead of ourselves, but maybe Arano or Neshek in the 9th.
I was thinking Arano. Now again, if there's a matchup where it's a lefty, it could be Avilan. Oh, 2 to Alfaro. Ball, 2 strikes. I'll tell you, this cat takes a long time in between pitches.
You think?
Swing and a miss. Ball had some late movement on it. Second time today, Alfaro has struck out. Time now for the Ram Truck Stuff the Fans Trivia Quiz answer. All right, Ben, here we go. Which 2 Blue Jays were named the World Series MVP in '92 and '93?
It's a very favorable question. I thank the production cavity.
Oh, why, Ben?
Pat Borders and Paul Molitor.
Pat Borders and Paul Molitor. How did you know that answer?
I just remember watching them.
Log back on to Phillies.com to find out if you're the winner of a Phillies prize pack.
Obviously not very happy after the '93 World Series.
Yeah, that one I figured everybody would remember, although some might have said Joe Carter because of the home run. In fact, I think Murph was leaning toward Joe Carter. Who, by the way, does a lot of commercials up here.
Does he?
Yeah. Roman Quinn taps it foul, 1-1.
But that series that Pat Borders had, oh my goodness. Pat and I were teammates in Seattle. Bring it up from time to time. Told him wasn't very happy that he had beaten my Phils in '93.
Borders hit 304. Roberto Alomar hit 480. Molitor hit 500.
That's just silly. Another teammate of mine, Roberto Alomar.
Taught him everything he knows, right, Ben?
Yeah.
Well, we flash it back. Joe Carter breaking the hearts of everybody in Philadelphia.
I just don't know how he kept that ball fair and barreled it. I mean, seriously, how does he not poke it foul?
This place was going crazy. Swing and a miss. And Roman Quinn goes after a high fastball. 2 outs. And back to the top of the order for Cesar, who is 1 for 3.
Where Jansen wants it. Exactly where he got it.
Cesar walked his first time up, singled in the third. Grounded out and struck out. Got a good changeup. That was an awfully close pitch taken for ball 2.
Yes, it was.
Brian Knight, the home plate umpire. Three balls and 1 strike. Fly ball left field. And Hernandez is over toward the line, puts it away. The inning is over, no runs, 1 hit, 1 man left. The Phils waste the leadoff double. And we move now to the bottom of the 8th inning in a 1-run ball game. September 2nd, when the Phillies take on the Cubs next Sunday. It's a 1:35 first pitch. That's the day Cole Hamels is scheduled to pitch for the Chicago Cubs. The backpack cooler, courtesy of Fonte's Plumbing, Heating, and Air, will be given out to children 14 and under. Get your tickets by going to Phillies.com. We start the home 8th. Sir Anthony Dominguez against Kendrys Morales, and it's 0-1. Oh, and 2. Outside. And a line drive base hit to left field. All right, so the leadoff batter's aboard. Let's check in with Greg Murphy.
All right, thanks, Tom. Time for the Major League Notebook, and it is brought to you by the University of Maryland and University College, and some almost history happening in New York, Baltimore, and New York this afternoon. And Orioles in game 1 of the doubleheader. Giancarlo Stanton launched one to deep center field, but Cedric Mullins went up over the wall to pull it back. It would have been number 300 in Stanton's career. Yanks still went on to win game 1 of that one, 10-3. Daniel Murphy also making his presence felt in Chicago. He, of course, is traded by the Nats a few days ago. The last 4 games, he's been leading off for the Cubs. He's been 6 for 14. Last night, he hit a home run. Today, also a home run in the 3rd. He is paying dividends right now, and Cubs fans are enjoying it for sure.
Yeah, they are. You just wanted to get him in there just because he's a Murphy.
Well, his nickname is Murph this weekend. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Curtis Granderson pitch runs for the Jays for Morales. That's the tying run over at first here at the bottom of the 8th inning. Pilar bounces one foul. It's 0-2.
I thought they might run for Morales, but only if he got to second base.
Yeah, unless they feel like Granderson might try to take off here. To center field, Odubel has plenty of room. And he makes the catch. Granderson goes back to first. Granderson is wearing a different pair of spikes every day in honor of the Players Weekend. And each of the spikes that he wears at some point during the day, I'm not sure if that's one of them, but it helps to raise money for two different charities, Jays Care and the Chicago Baseball Education Academy. He's got a red pair, that's the blue pair, and he had a green pair that he wore yesterday, and he wore the green pair for batting practice. And at the end, he'll raffle them off, and there'll be other prizes that'll be part of the raffle. And then he'll split the proceeds between the Jays Care and the CBEA, which is the Chicago Baseball Education Academy.
Be hard pressed to find anybody that does more for the community than Curtis Granderson.
He does raise a lot of money.
Just a great guy. Really is.
1 ball, no strikes. With Gurriel up, and he takes outside. 2-0. Now 3-0. Yeah, there's ball 4. That'll put runners on first and second. And Rick Kratitz heads out to the mound.
Fourth visit.
Is that all it is?
We had 3 with Nick.
Yeah, I guess so. Down to 2. Danny Jansen is 2 for 3. He's got 2 doubles. And there is Arano. Popped up. Franco over toward the seats and out of play. 0-1. And Jensen needs a new bat.
He likes that first pitch, doesn't he?
I don't think it's a bad idea when you're facing Sir Anthony, even though he just walked the previous hitter. You figure he was going to try to get a pitch over for a strike. That's going to hurt. That's a 98-mile-an-hour fastball that'll load the bases.
That left elbow or right below his elbow on the forearm. Ooh.
Here comes Gabe Kapler, so that's going to be it for Sir Anthony. They're going to go to Victor Arano.
there's any time you need a strikeout, this is it.
Yep. So a pitching change. They'll visit Jansen over at first base as well. We'll be back after this. One man down. Phillies are up by 1. And he is on to face Hernandez. Teoscar Hernandez. You see the numbers for Arano at 2.79 ERA. Hernandez does have an RBI single today. Swing and a miss to the slider. And that's why he's brought in here, to try to get him on that slider. You may see him throw it 3 straight times. See, the bases are loaded. Good speed at third and second. Slider foul tip, and it's 0-2. One more time. Swing and a miss. He got him. 3 different sliders, and there are 2 outs here in the 8th inning, and now it's Diaz who's coming up.
Yeah, this one here has more downward motion than anything. He gets Hernandez.
Swing and a miss. 0-1.
That is a tight spinning slider.
And a fly ball center field. Well hit. Odubel is back, and it's over his head. And a one-hop off the wall. It's going to clear the bases. A 3-run double for Aledmys Diaz. And the Blue Jays have come all the way back to take an 8-6 lead.
He gets one up in the middle here, and Diaz doesn't miss it. And this ball just short hops the center field wall. This ball is on a rope. See where they want to go with it. And that's up in the middle.
What a shame. And now McKinney. one of those that has your hands on your head, on the back of your head, clasped together, and you're sitting there thinking, are you kidding me that this just happened?
And a game that was well in hand.
Well in hand. Phillies led it 5-0 at one point. That was only part of the story. Then they led it 6-3. But 5 runs in the last 2 innings for the Blue Jays. They lead it by 2. A fly ball to right field. Williams comes running over and can't get there in time. 0-2 to McKinney.
And Nick had a long way to go for that.
Sure did. Phillies offense came to life through 5 innings, but have gone quiet since the 5th inning. Beyond that, McKinney hit a home run in the 7th inning in a spot where you had Avilon warming up in the bullpen. Decided to stay with Nick Pivetta. And then in reality, Sir Anthony he hasn't been the same. His command just hasn't been the same, and that showed here in the 8th. The 0-2 pitch coming to McKinney. Outside.
When we first got here, it was strike after strike.
Yeah.
When you look at the walk, Gurriel Jr. on 5 pitches, then the hit back of Jansen.
Three balls and 2 strikes now to McKinney. Ken Giles warming up in the bullpen for the Blue Jays. Braves begin in a little while down in Miami. Swing and a miss and a changeup. And the inning finally comes to a close. But Aledmys Diaz picked up his 2nd hit of the day. This one a bases clearing double to center field. Giles is on. The Phil's down by 2 as we go to the 9th. Talk about including the Phillies allowing a 5-run lead to be wiped away. So now we go to the top of the 9th inning. And the Phillies dugout down by 2 will have to try to get a couple runs against their old teammate Ken Giles. Grichuk comes on to play right field. Billy McKinney goes from right field to left field. And Rhys Hoskins will lead it off. The Phillies need 2 runs to tie it. They have 6 runs on 12 hits. They had a 5-0 lead, but now they trail at 8-6. And the first pitch is hit in the air to shallow right. Smokes there. 1 out here in the 9th inning. Tough road trip so far, but there's still 2 outs to go. Williams swings at the first pitch, sends it to left center field. Pilar gives way to McKinney. 2 outs on 2 pitches. And now it's Carlos Santana. Reminder, will be on at 1 o'clock tomorrow. 12:30 is the big Sunday show. Vince Velasquez will be opposed by Marco Estrada. I don't know what the right approach is against Ken Giles. I mean, he is sometimes wild. Those were 2 hittable pitches, but they didn't give him a chance to be wild. What a note to Santana. Bouncing ball to first. That's a foul ball.
We saw what could happen with Giles last night. I mean, it's.
Yep. You're not going to fault them, though. I mean, I guess for swinging what they think are good fastballs to hit. Just a decision that they make. One ball and 2 strikes. And the pitch hit toward third. That's a fair ball right over the third base bag. And Santana on his way to second, and he is there. So that'll bring the tying run to the plate for the Phils here in the 9th inning. And it's Asdrubal Cabrera. Second double of the day for Santana.
Asdrubal with 3 hits today. You get right man, right spot. A good piece of hitting here by Los. Sneaks it inside that bag. The Phillies have life.
All right, so now it's Asdrubal Cabrera. As Ben said, he has 3 hits today. He takes on the outside corner. No balls, 1 strike. Bouncing ball right to the mound. Add this one to the long list of really tough Philly losses as they waste a 5-0 lead and lose it 8-6 to the Blue Jays as Ken Giles saves it for the 2nd consecutive day. Aledmys Diaz's bases clearing double gave the Blue Jays the lead for good in the 8th inning. It was a 3-run double to straightaway center field. And Toronto wins it 8-6. Right now the Phillies are 3.5 games out in the National League East. And 2.5 games out in the wild card. Our W. Mason delivery of the game. This is rather easy. We'll go to the 8th inning.
Yeah, Diaz, it's a hanging slider here, and he really puts a charge into it. Short hop to center field wall, nothing Odubel could do. 3-runner score, put the Blue Jays up 8-6. That is your W.B. Mason delivery of the game.
So the Jays win it 8-6. They've taken the first 2 games of this series. We'll be back to wrap it up right after this.